So, pivoting back now into this hiring and what was going on there, I thought it was really interesting in your blog how you talked about the third wave of data scientists. Can you go into that a bit more?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm in a position where I can answer this well because I feel I've been part of like every kind of wave, if you want to call it that. So I think this all starts to make sense after around 2011 or something. Especially like, okay, we always had like the pioneers that, Google, Facebook, Twitter, whoever, who were like early adopters and early like, they adopted machine learning first and were like on the forefront. But I guess the rest of the world was a little bit using various proprietary kind of tools, doing very similar work, but it was kind of all locked in and pretty like not really. It's an opaque kind of world, and I guess that's the first wave uh, in a nutshell. And then this big data like revolution happened, and particularly where I think the second wave kicked in was Jupyter notebooks. So that was just a profound moment in the data science like data science like community, and it just opened up like Python and like data science to the whole world. It was like this brilliant moment, and everyone suddenly became, I would say, including myself, everyone suddenly became like a data scientist. And there was massive like excitement, massive hype of the like possibilities that machine learning and data science can bring to enterprise, to business. And I think we were rolling in that kind of wave for maybe 3 or 4 years. But in the end, I think businesses didn't really know how to extract business value, a lot of business value out of kind of data science, Jupyter notebook data science, as it was back then. So you ended up with situations where it was just like shelfware, PowerPoints, things that were created in a vacuum and were never put in production. And I think there was a lot of that in business during the second wave. So it was kind of a hype time, but a time where business value wasn't optimally extracted. And I think the lesson learned there was like that data scientists cannot just be people who, write Jupyter notebooks in a vacuum. They have to be involved in the end-to-end process of actually prototyping something and then ensuring that it gets pushed into production. And I think there's a recognition amongst like businesses nowadays that this is kind of a given. This is kind of a requirement nowadays for the data scientist or machine learning engineer, whatever kind of jobs. So yeah, working in a vacuum in Jupyter notebooks is not an option, I think, anymore, and the whole industry is coming to that realization. And I think that's the third wave of like the full stack kind of data scientist.